stand for the posting of the colors by the East Tennessee State University ROTC and remain standing for our national anthem, sung by the Appalachian Express Quartet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2013 President of the ETSU Staff Senate, Ms. Lisa Belcher.
Welcome to the 2013 Annual Staff Convocation. We are glad you're here. It is nice to see each and every one of you here today. On behalf of the Staff Senate, I would like to thank you for allowing us to represent you and to be your campus voice. Convocation is a time when we can come together and celebrate you and let you know how much you matter. I would like to thank all of those who contributed their time and effort into making this convocation such a success. I'm not able to address each and every one of you separately, but I would like to extend a special thank you to Wayne Winkler from WETS-FM for being our announcer today. Also to David Curry and his team from the ETSU Online for the production of the You Matter video. And Daniel Gibson from Academic Technology for a beautiful convocation program. And today we also celebrate the 35th anniversary of Staff Senate. In 1978, ETSU President DeRosier established Staff Senate, and he appointed the first members of the Executive Committee. One of the original members is here with us today. Please welcome our special guest, the first treasurer of Staff Senate, Mr. Pete Halsey. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program.
The advisor for the Staff Senate, ETSU Vice President for Finance and Administration, Dr. David Collins.
Gee, as Finance VP, I'm not used to getting applause anywhere. Pete asked me this morning if we had any money, and I've asked him if he's ever heard a vice president of finance said there was money in the institution. But I do want to thank you for being here and welcome you to the 2013 Staff Convocation. As noted, I'm the advisor to the Staff Senate. I've yet to exactly ever figure out what that title means. I advise they do what they want. So, but that's nothing unusual. But I do want to thank all of you as the staff. You do play the important role. Y'all are the backbone of the institution, from keeping facilities moving to ensuring everybody gets paid to patrolling our streets and keeping everyone safe. So without you, there would be no East Tennessee State University. So again, thank you for all you do and for helping the university be the university of choice. Thank you.
My name is Lisa Belcher, and I feel very excited and very humbled to serve as your president for 2013 and 2014. I am here today to serve because of you. You matter to me, your president, and you matter to the Staff Senate, and you matter to this university. In 1978, ETSU President DeRosier formed a committee to represent non-faculty, non-student, and non-executive staff by giving a voice to campus staff. A Senate is formed, and the majority of the members are chosen because they have never participated in the decision-making processes at ETSU before. The history books will record names like Louise Garrett, our first president, Connie Gwynn, our secretary, and Pete Halsey, our first treasurer. They answered the call to serve. And after 35 years, we can still hear their voices saying, "You matter." So we echo their voices today, and we say, you do matter, and you do have a voice. And together, we can make a difference.
Staff matters. Staff is really the backbone of ETSU. We make things work.
You matter. You matter. You matter.
You matter.
You matter. You matter. You matter. You matter.
You matter.
You matter. You matter. You matter.
You matter.
You matter. You matter.
We appreciate all that you do for us. Go Bucks.
Staff matters. Thank you for all you do.
It has been a proud honor of mine to be part of the ETSU staff family. Thank you.
You matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of East Tennessee State University, Dr. Brian Noland.
Thank you all and good afternoon. I want to begin by thanking Lisa Belcher, Christy Buckles, and the entire Staff Senate for their work in organizing this event. I also want to take a moment to welcome all of our new staff members who've joined the ETSU family since our convocation a year ago. I want to step back from my notes and talk a second about where we are as an institution. Talk in a second about today. There were pictures in the video that showed the amphitheater. And I don't know about you, but it sure would be nice to be in a chair outside because today is absolutely beautiful. But as I walked across campus on my way to the event, I was struck by the beauty of the institution, by the beauty of the grounds, by the beauty of our facilities, and by the manner in which our students are moving through the fall semester like clockwork. They do so because of everyone in this room. And I had a chance earlier today to visit a couple of high schools, and I met with an assistant principal at a high school in the neighboring area. And she said, Dr. Nolan, my daughter's a freshman at ETSU, and from the moment that she begun her experience at your university, it has been seamless. When we moved into the residence halls, it was without incident, and everyone had told us there's no place to park, move in is a nightmare, but it was seamless at ETSU. Preview was seamless at ETSU. And every day that she's had the opportunity to be a freshman at our institution has been an outstanding experience. That happens for 14,957 students every day of the week, and it happens because of the people in this room. When our students first learn of the institution, who do they meet with? Admissions counselors, staff members. As they move through the most difficult point in an undergraduate experience for any of us, which is financial aid, who guides them through the process, who answers difficult questions, who says, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir, even though they may not call you such nice names. Staff, who assists with move-in, who ensures that the lights are on, who ensures that every aspect of this institution operates like clockwork. Staff. And for that, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for welcoming my family into your family, because this is a beautiful institution. As I shared with you last fall, I'm a note taker, and I have stacks of notes across my office and at home, full of stories of East Tennessee State University. Many of you have heard some of those stories through my From My Notepad series, and my stories are full of what-if questions. Over the past year, what-if questions from our staff members led to the establishment of Bucky's Food Pantry, as well as a lounge for our veteran students. When asked, what if our public safety department could become an accredited law enforcement agency, Chief Jack Cottrell, Detective Jennifer Mayberry, and the public safety staff set forth a goal and an action plan that resulted in ETSU becoming the first institution in the Board of Regents system to be accredited by the Tennessee Association of Chiefs of Police. I also want to congratulate Chief Cottrell, who was honored earlier this year by the Tennessee Association of Chiefs of Police as the Chief of the Year for the Eastern Division. The men and women who work in our public safety work long hours, nights, and weekends. I've got to say it's been a smooth semester. I don't want to jinx ourselves, but the reason it has been such a smooth semester is because of the dedication and effort that they have put forward through their training to assure that not only do we follow policy, but we reach out to students and address situations before they become incidents. From the moment that I arrived on campus, I started taking entries in my notepads, documenting the passion that I've heard across the region for an arts center at ETSU. This what-if question dates back more than a quarter century. It's a question that if in fact you look at our master plan for the institution as we celebrated our 75th anniversary, what was one of the top goals for ETSU in 1986? A performing arts center. I'm pleased to announce that we are moving one step closer towards the realization of this long-standing goal, not only for the university, but for the region. This past year, we received $1.5 million from Governor Haslam to begin the planning process, and we launched a fundraising effort under the leadership of Dr. Stanton to help meet our matching requirements. As of today, we're more than halfway home towards our matching goals. We are moving through the Board of Regents process, and later this week, the building would be before the Building Commission for their consideration. But this Arts Center is more than an investment in our institution. It's an investment in our region. It's a facility that will allow us to celebrate the arts, to celebrate ETSU, and to celebrate the talents and ability of our students. I'd like to thank Dr. Bach, Jeff Anderson, Anita DeAngelis, and all of the members of the steering committee, along with the faculty, staff, and countless others who've generously stepped forward and assisted our steady progress towards our overall fundraising goal. About a year and a half ago, campus was besieged by a rash of pedestrian incidents. Dr. Collins blamed it on me. He said we hadn't had anything over the course of the past 10 years. You're here for 6 months and 11 students are hit by cars in one semester. But that traces its way to a what-if question that I've heard for decades about ETSU. What if we could find a place to park at ETSU? Well, because of the leadership and dedication of individuals in this room, that long-standing what-if question will be addressed when early next spring we will open a parking facility for the university, a parking facility that will not only ease parking for our students, but will allow us to redirect and redistribute parking across the campus, thereby making it easier for all of us to come and grow from the institution. We've also asked what-if questions about how can we make our campus safer, which goes back to my statement on pedestrian incidents. And we took that, how do we make our campus safer, and flipped it and said, how do we take what's already the most beautiful public institution in the state of Tennessee and enhance our infrastructure? That question led to the closure of the center of campus, which has led to Veterans Memorial Lawn, which runs from Brooks to Gilbert Hall. It's already emerging as a place in which our students, our faculty, and our staff gather on days like today. In fact, as I walked through campus a little bit ago, there were folks out in front of Brooks playing banjos. And it is just a beautiful setting to walk through campus and see our campus transformed because of the leadership, the hard work, and the dedication of many in this room. As summer drew to a close, we put the finishing touches on a $7 million expansion of the Baszler Center for Physical Activity. This project added approximately 20,000 square feet to our current facility and provides a new multi-purpose court, extended weight and cardio rooms, and studio space for martial arts, Pilates, and yoga. Across the tracks from the CPA is a new field house and multi-sport synthetic field. With these efforts, we believe that by 2015, we'll have increased participation in our campus recreation programs by 25%, which brings the culmination of a what-if question asked by our student affairs staff when they dreamed of a new home for rec sports and intramurals at ETSU. And I want to encourage everyone to take advantage of the facilities at the CPA. They're state-of-the-art, and they allow all of us to connect with our students. As someone who occasionally shows up in the CPA to play basketball, I can assure you there's nothing more rewarding than the opportunity to connect with students outside of the classroom and to see them in their settings. This past academic year was a time of collective dreaming about the future of ETSU as we launched our 125 visioning effort. This initiative challenged us to look ahead as an institution at where we want to be in 10, 15, and 25 years. Hundreds of students, faculty, and staff participated in our visioning initiative. I want to thank everyone in the room who was part of a focus group, who was a member of a task force or a roundtable, or who submitted your ideas to the 125 website. Thank you for sharing your energy, your vision, and your willingness to dream collectively about the future of our great university. Our good friend, Mr. Louis Gump, has recently reported to the institution the final draft of the 125 report, and all of the material and supporting documents are available on the 125 website. I would encourage you to review that information because that will provide the roadmap for us as we move forward into the next strategic planning cycle. The visioning process has provided us with rich opportunities that are far-sighted and innovative, yet mindful of our history and our mission. The 125 report is structured so that it is a committee document. It outlines a vision of possibilities that emerged from our people, but it does not prescribe a calendar or an action agenda. That process, making visions actionable, is what a strategic planning process should be. During this academic year and in the academic years to come, the university will take the next steps in our TBR-prescribed strategic planning and implementation process. And as part of that, I've looked to the university's strategic planning committee to develop growth targets, metrics, and key performance indicators related to enrollment, our endowment, community relations, cost structures, asset utilization, and student outcomes. As our strategic plan is more firmly defined, we will review and assess our activities annually through adaptive implementation. This approach will allow us to stay the course and make timely and opportunistic adjustments. More importantly, as we move forward into a new era of planning, I want to do so in a culture of transparency. We will make a dedicated commitment to implementing the policy priorities outlined by the Committee for 125, coupled with the development of strategic partnerships with civic and business leaders and a focus on new revenue generation, but we will do so collectively through our shared governance process. Across the policy spectrum, decisions that advance ETSU's goals in areas such as student access and success, faculty development, facilities utilization, and K-20 partnerships must be examined and explored. We must ask what-if questions regarding the potential for administrative review and redesign for greater efficiency, growth, and innovation. Many of these what-if questions are centered in key areas such as budget and finance, institutional advancement, marketing, operations and planning, and Student Affairs. Given our current enrollment challenges, we must examine what-if questions that yield enhanced student success through a comprehensive first-year experience, increased student financial support, the development of an integrated student advising system, increased academic support strategies, and expanded student learning services, both physical and virtual. As we put the focus on enrollment, as we put the focus on student success, as we come together as an institution, I'm confident that we'll meet our enrollment target of 18,000 students that we've set for the end of this decade. One of the core recommendations of the Committee for 125 calls for us to continue our demonstrated and visible responsibility to a stewardship of place across the region. One of the things that I'm most proud of about our great institution is the way in which we serve the people of East Tennessee. Be it our work with school partners in K-12 settings, to the work with RAM clinics, to volunteer services, to student outreach, to our ROTC program. I hope that as we grow, I hope that as we evolve, and I hope that as we move through the future as an institution, we never lose sight of why we were founded. We were founded in 1911 as an institution dedicated to teacher education and regional service. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a university in this nation more committed to serving the people of its region than we are at ETSU. I know that there have been a number of questions this fall related to budgets. This fall has not been an easy period. This fall has been a period in which we've examined difficult questions. It's a period in which we've made decisions that will position us for growth. And although we've made temporary reductions to our budgets and we froze some positions, our commitment to improving faculty and staff salaries remains our top funding priority. By now, most of you should have received information from our HR offices about your specific equity plan adjustments. These increases will be reflected in your next paycheck and will be retroactive to July 1. These increases are on top of the 1.5% across-the-board increases that were provided by the legislature and Governor Haslam. A number of new initiatives that emerged from the 125 process are being implemented this fall. They include our Open Bucks program. They also include efforts that we've made to examine our commitment to veterans at ETSU through our Buck Hero program. We have a rich tradition of service for our veterans through programs such as Veterans Upward Bound and our longstanding partnership for the VA. Our Buck Hero program deepens our commitment to those who have given their service to our nation. I want to talk a little bit about veterans and what has transpired over the past week and a half related to our ROTC program. In the middle of last week, I received notification from the Secretary of Army that we were one of three programs in Tennessee, 13 programs across the nation that were stated for closure. Now, I haven't taken calculus in a while, but if you're closing 3 programs across the country, it doesn't altogether add up to me that 3 of those programs are in one state. And if you were to remove the University of Tennessee at Martin from the calculus and replace it with Morehead State, 3 of the 13 programs are in one specific region of the nation, and that region is Appalachia. We will fight vigorously to defend the ROTC program at East Tennessee State University. I've been on the phone with numerous occasions today, and we will continue to work both political and social channels to protect our program. We're going to need your help, but most importantly, we're going to need your assistance with our students. These are young men and women who've dedicated themselves to our country and to this institution. The directives that have been prescribed by the Army allow for our junior and senior students to continue and complete their education at ETSU and receive their commissions from ETSU. Presently, there are 54 cadets in that commission queue, and there are 222 students taking military science programs at the university, enrolled in courses at the university. And these are outstanding young men and women. They're on the dean's list. More than 60% have an overall GPA of 3.3. But these are folks who are scared. These are folks who are uncertain about their future. If you see a student in uniform on campus, tell them thank you. Tell them thank you and tell them to keep their heads up. Because if they continue to do the things that they do, which is compete in the classroom, lead in the community, and we do the things that I know we're capable of doing as an institution, I look forward to ROTC being part of the fabric of East Tennessee State University for decades and for generations to come. We've made a lot of investments in this institution over the course of the past 3 years to 18 months to over the course of the summer. And many have asked, why are we making investments and taking proactive actions to invest in our university in the face of budgetary pressures? The intent for such investments is to better position us to be a more attractive option for students as they make their college choice decision and as we grow and diversify our enrollment. As noted in a recent report by Moody's, institutions such as ours compete in a modern higher education landscape that offers to students multiple choices and multiple enrollment alternatives. We must make definitive steps to enhance our mission, to grow our programmatic strengths, and to make clear to students why their future should include ETSU as their institution of choice and ultimately their alma mater. While our budget challenges are real, I believe that they present us with an opportunity to revisit the nature, structure, and process of budgeting at ETSU. Very soon, we will begin the work of developing a new budget process, coupled with potential revisions to institutional governance related to budgets that will yield a more open, transparent, and inclusive ETSU. This work's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to span multiple academic years. But our conversation will be inclusive, and we will be judicious to ensure that the outcomes yield a process in which all stakeholders realize their role in our strategic growth agenda. This agenda entails a focus not only on attracting new students to ETSU, but ensuring that more of our students walk across the stage and receive their degree. I firmly believe that budgets are moral documents, and I believe that budgets should align with our institutional values. Our institutional value statement declares that people come first, and I firmly believe that through opening up the process, we will position the university to continue our commitment to salary equity, as well as to identifying opportunities for revenue growth. I couldn't be more proud to serve you than I am at this moment. The current year will be an exciting, challenging, and difficult one. This is a year when we will all begin to face the realities of a changing financial landscape and the complicated pressures emerging across higher education. But this is a year when we've got to look inside ourselves, question who we are as a university, and examine where we want to be as an institution in 25 years. We will be defined by our reflections and our conversations that ensue through the process, conversations that will be dominated by what-if questions. We'll work vigilantly to address our budget situation. I'm confident that everyone in this room will roll up your sleeves, and we're going to work together to address our enrollment challenges. Every staff person at this institution will play a critical role in helping us meet our enrollment and retention goals. I'm confident that we will meet our goals, thereby negating the false rumors that have circulated across this campus regarding job losses and potential outsourcing. I thank you for all that you do for our students, for your fellow staff members, and for the region as a whole. This is a beautiful university. Go outside and enjoy it today. Go outside and enjoy everything you see, because what you're going to see are students who have come here, who have made this their university of choice, who work collectively with you to ensure that their educational dreams come true. You'll see an institution dedicated to regional service. You'll see an institution that will be aggressive. You'll see an institution that will come together, and you'll see an institution that's comprised of buccaneers, people who are not pirates, but people who came here to settle this region, who came to this region to seek their freedom from the king, people who fought at King's Mountain for our nation's freedom, people who have settled this region, and people who for the better part of 300 years have worked hard behind the scenes to make dreams come true. I thank you for allowing me to serve in my capacity as president. I thank you for all that you do to support myself, my family, and our staff, and I thank you for everything that you do for East Tennessee State University. Go Bucks!
The past president of the ETSU Staff Senate, Ms. Christy Buckles.
Good afternoon. Thank you. A year ago, I stood here literally shaking in my high heels as the new president of Staff Senate. I had no idea of what I was in for or what I would experience as a new president. But I remembered some advice that my grandmother Betty always gave me when I was growing up. she would say, "Christy, honey, just fake it till you make it." So in essence, that's exactly what I've been doing for the past year. But I've also been listening, and I've been speaking from my heart, and I've been trying to obey the golden rule of treating other people the way that I want to be treated. A year ago, I told you that I wanted to improve communication between the Staff Senate and staff members. We have since started Campus Voice, which is an electronic newsletter that has gone out quarterly over the past year, with the aim to open these lines of communication that are so vital to the core of solid relationships. A year ago, I also told you that I wanted to make Staff Senate more transparent and inclusive to all staff members. So, over the past year, we created Friends of the Senate, which is a group that any staff member can join and choose to attend Staff Senate meetings, serve on various committees, and voice their opinions. A year ago, I told you that I wanted to celebrate our staff and make sure that they felt valued. So, over the past year, we were able to get the needed support with help from the ETSU Foundation to double the amount of money allocated for staff awards. And we even set up an additional monetary award for the annual Outstanding Staff Senator. A year ago, I asked each of you to try and make ETSU Pride more than a couple of words on banners or that we see on our t-shirts, but to instead make it a way of life. And over the past year, I have witnessed staff doing just that. I've seen the pride in our staff as I watched food and monetary donations flood in during our annual holiday drive. I've seen the pride in our staff as I've watched staff members pick up trash off the ground while they're on campus as they walk from one location to another. And I've seen the pride in our staff as they take the time out of their busy schedules to walk students to their correct buildings during the first weeks of class. I'm really proud of what has been accomplished over the past year, but there's still a lot of work to be done and a great deal of uncertainty about the future. So I'm not going to stand here and make false promises or claims as to what will happen. Instead, I just want to thank you, the ETSU staff members, for all you do to make this institution great and for inspiring me every day. I want to also thank the senators who selflessly dedicate their time to serve and who make everything that Staff Senate does possible. Thank you to our amazing students. You're the reason we're here and the reason that you drive our passion to do our jobs well every day. Thank you to Dr. Byington and our ETSU faculty members for their encouragement and continuous support. And lastly, thank you to Dr. Noland and the senior staff. You welcomed me with open arms, and you listened to what I had to say. It's been my pleasure to serve each of you over the past year. You matter to me, you matter to the Staff Senate, and you matter to this university. Thank you for the experience of a lifetime, and go Bucks.
The President of the ETSU Faculty Senate, Dr. Randy Byington.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to tell some stories, and that's usually a good thing. We'll see how it goes. But I want to start by saying that you do matter. And the stories I'm going to tell are about how my life has been impacted by people who sit in your seats at another institution. I'm a first-generation college student. My dad was a bivocational farmer. Those who are members of the clergy, you understand what bivocational is. Basically, it means that in the farming community that you can't make enough money on a small farm, but that's where your heart is, so you take another job so that you can pursue your dreams. That's what my dad did. So I am a farmer. That's what I did to pay for my undergraduate education. And as I went off to college, my parents had never been to college, my grandparents had never been to college. I didn't have folks to help me make choices and decisions. And I thought I would be pre-dental. So I chose a school that had 3 options for me in the health sciences. There was pre-med, pre-dental, and teach high school biology. Those are the 3 choices. Once I decided that being a dentist, I feel like I'm in the land of misfit toys here, but being a dentist was not what I wanted to be, the opportunities were very limited. And at that point in time, I decided, I really need to transfer to another school where I have more opportunities, more things that I'd be interested in. And I selected a school that had pre-forestry, nursing, medical technology, some other options. And during that transfer process, I had an admissions counselor. And for Wayne, wherever you are, we know you're up there somewhere. I'm going to tell a story about someone that you are very, very, very familiar with. The admissions counselor that I worked with was a gentleman named Brent Kennedy. Brent was a wonderful person who still is a wonderful person, and he was very warm. He took an interest in every single person that he came in contact with in that admissions office in his function as admissions counselor and transfer counselor. So Brent, at that time I had 2 semesters of English. That was only 4 hours of English. My undergraduate institution required 6 hours of English. Brent said, well, I'm going to hope that no one ever catches this. So any of the registrar's office employees here? Yeah, they caught it. They caught it. And I get this, back in those days, you don't get the phone call, you didn't get the text, you got this little slip of paper in your campus mailbox. And it said, registrar wants to see you. So I walk in and they tell me that I'm going to have another semester of English. Now, my undergraduate institution, English was a weed-out course. English was extremely difficult. I am reasonably decent at English, and I thought I could do okay, but I was a science major. I was facing 2 semesters of general chemistry, 2 semesters of organic chemistry, biochemistry, analytical biochemistry, clinical chemistry, and literally enough hours of biology to have a major and a minor in biology. English was not at the top of my list of concerns until I got the piece of paper in my mailbox. So who is the person that you think I might have gone to? I didn't have parents who had faced this before. I went back to Brent. I said, Brent, what do I do? Brent thought for a second and he said, well, I've got 2 options. Let's go with option 1 first. I said, that's a good idea. And so he set it up for me to actually write an essay for the chair of the English department, and hoping that that would be okay and they would go ahead and give me credit for my 2nd semester of English. Had 4 hours, but not 6. Had 2 semesters, but not 6 credit hours. So I did that. And Dr. Peake called me back in after I had written my essay, and he'd had other faculty members look at it, and he said, Randy, I understand that the reason you're here is that you would prefer not to take another semester of English. I said, that's correct. He said, we've looked at your essay, and looks okay, looks fine, grammatically it's fine, structure's fine. So what we really recommend is that you take not 2nd semester English. You've mastered that, but for your extra course, you have to take advanced composition. Now that was not what I wanted to hear. So once again, I went back to Brent, and I said, Brent, this is not exactly the outcome I had in mind. He said, I was afraid of that. So he advised me to take a 3rd quarter English class at a community college and transfer it back in. Now, he did that because he cared about me. He knew what my career goals were. And it was with his advice that he helped me become a medical technologist. In 1989, I found myself in a position to again work with Brent. He was now the director of development at my undergraduate institution, and we were making a donation of HPLC, a high-pressure liquid chromatography machine, to that particular college for their use in their chemistry lab. And Brent and our paths have crossed many, many times during our lifetime. In 2002, which is about, 14, 15 years later after my undergraduate experience, maybe a little bit longer than that. I was a math major. And I don't want to tell you my age, right? So I was ready to do my dissertation, and it was on healthcare strategy and healthcare finance. And lo and behold, Brent was working in a place where my pilot process of my data collection could be done. And Brent coordinated all that. So, you know, my message to you is that you may not know who you touch, but I guarantee you that you matter to those whose lives you touch. One staff member mattered to me, and I mattered to him for an entire lifetime. And the students at ETSU will remember you when they don't remember a faculty member. They'll remember exactly how you helped them, and I know that every one of you does everything that you can to try to help students. So from the faculty, I say to you, we appreciate everything that you do. We know what you do because we've been a student who have relied on your services throughout our entire lives. Thank you, and go Bucks.
The president of the ETSU Student Government Association, Mr. Mike Wallace.
Hello. 2 summers ago, I worked at a kids camp on Buffalo Mountain. At the camp, I was a counselor for the kids, and we had a camp staff that supported the directors, children, and ourselves. The staff relieved us for our breaks, cleaned the facilities, provided quick fixes for camp operation, and at times, cleaned the dirty laundry for our campers. The staff did not ask for a thank you, and the campers woke up the next day to clean clothes. At ETSU, thankfully for the staff, the students do their own laundry, or at least attempt to. However, there are several tasks that must be done to ensure the success of student life, no matter how trivial they may seem. I refer to those tasks as behind-the-curtain performances sometimes, and it's the backstage work that really does make the difference. The difference is made from meaningful conversations with the food service staff while they ask you about your day and make you a buffalo chicken ranch wrap. The difference is made when I leave the culp to see skid marks and paper waste, and I return the next morning to see a better picture. The difference is made by sitting in an office of a staff member and talking, and they're just being there to listen to the concerns. The difference is made by the assistance needed in all areas around the university to support a home away from home, because that's what the students need, and that is not done by one single person alone at this university. I'm here today to say thank you. Thank you for these tasks that are noticed by the students. We thank you for these consistent efforts in all that you do for the university. You matter to this university. You matter to the students of ETSU. Thank you, and go Bucks.
Once again, the president of the ETSU Staff Senate, Ms. Lisa Belcher.
Sorry. I have racked my brain for the past few weeks trying to find the words for this speech. I ask everyone around me, what should I say? What do they want to hear? I even told my husband at one point that my entire speech would consist of just 2 words, go Bucks. After all, it was short, it was to the point, but I knew it wouldn't say what I felt. So you can only imagine how my blood pressure was starting to rise, and I could literally feel an ulcer forming in the pit of my stomach, when as of this past Friday, I still didn't have a speech. I did the only thing that I knew to do. I turned to the endless amounts of chocolate, trying to calm my nerves. And I'll confess, I even Googled perfect speeches. Then Friday afternoon, about 4:15, someone gave me some really good advice. As long as it comes from your heart, it will be great. Thank you, Dr. Bishop. So here is my speech from my heart. As I look out among you here today, it is not your titles that I see, or just a number. I see your faces, I know your names, and I know many of your stories of how you came to ETSU and why you call ETSU your home. And I want you to know that you matter, that each and every one of you here today matter. If you remember nothing else about this speech, I want you to leave here with the feeling that you matter. You matter to me as your president. You matter to Staff Senate. You matter to Dr. Noland, and you matter to this university. In the days and weeks ahead, as you're alone in your office, work piled up around you, phones ringing off the hook, or maybe you're alone on second shift, making sure the buildings are clean and well stocked for the day ahead. Or perhaps you're outside, working to beautify our grounds. I want you to remember these words, that you matter and that you are not alone. This is more than a university. It's a place we call home, and we call each other family. We call each other family because, as I heard someone recently put it, I spend more time with the people I work with than I do my own family. It's much more than just the time we spend with each other that makes us family. We are here to encourage and to lift each other up through the valleys, through the tears, and through the mountaintops. We celebrate our accomplishments together, and we appreciate and enjoy the great things ETSU has to offer. We grow up here at ETSU. Many of us come as children, starting at university school, and we make the seamless transition to the campus scene, complete our degrees, and then take a job here. Our husbands or wives, mothers and fathers, and even our children work here, or at least they go to school here. Some of you here today may be new to the family, and I want to say to you, we're glad you're here. We are glad you are part of the family. So you see, for many of us, ETSU is not just a job, it's a way of life. We welcome the students into this family, and we put them first. We put them first not because we feel it's our mission. We put them first because we want them to feel the warmth of our family, and we want them to succeed. We want to see them make ETSU a way of life. Each and every student that walks through the doors of this university is touched by every one of you here today. So if you could just close your eyes and imagine, just for a moment, that it's graduation day, and when that student walks across the stage and accepts their diploma from East Tennessee State University, they will have this entire family behind them, cheering them on and saying, "Congratulations, great job." As they move on with their lives, they will reflect back on their memories here at ETSU. They may or may not remember your name, but they will remember how you made them feel, and they will remember that you mattered to them. They might say something like, "I remember that lady in the scholarship office and how she took the time to help me with my scholarship." Or, "I remember the guy that worked in housing and how he helped me move into my dorm." Or maybe the lady in the library, she came to one of my concerts. Or maybe the lady that took care of cleaning our classroom and how she always took care of everything. No matter who you are or where you work, you will be remembered. And all of us, including our students, will remember those family members that passed away this year. Dr. Philip Henry, professor in internal medicine, Lisa McFall, Work Participation Coordinator and Community Outreach. Dr. Louis Cancelero, Professor Emeritus and Interim Chair in the Department of Psychiatry. And many of us will remember Dr. Joseph Corso, Assistant Professor in Political Science. They may not be with us here today, but we will remember them. As a family, we must work together to open the lines of communication. We must find new ways to talk and to listen to each other. Over the past few weeks, I've asked many of you, or many of you have asked me, what is going to be your agenda as president? And I could probably give you a list of 3 or 4 things that I would like to accomplish during the next year. But you see, it's not about me, it's about you. So I want us together to set this agenda. This agenda must reflect you and what you want. Many of you may not know that we have a Staff Senate office, and we will have this office open during the week so that you can come over and you can talk to us. And so we can listen to your ideas and your concerns, and so we can get to know each other. We will be updating our website and our newsletter to reflect what you want to read. And we'll find ways to keep you informed every step of the way. Over the past few days, I have seen a burning spirit in the senators that serve you. So I can tell you today that your Senate is strong, and we are excited and eager to serve you and to be your campus voice. I am proud of each and every one of them. We, as your Senate, will continue to build on the strong foundation of those that served before us, and we will continue their 35-year legacy because we want to make a difference. And we want you to be a part. We want you to stand up and be heard. In the days ahead, we will need your support and your encouragement to continue because it's not easy. We didn't join the Senate because it was easy. We joined the Senate because we want to make a difference. I would like everyone to get to know their senators. So I'd like to ask the senators to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. I would also like to introduce those senators elected to your executive committee: Josh Whitlock, President-elect; Ann Ergel, our secretary; Candy Massey, our treasurer; and Brian Bennett, our member at large. I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you for supporting your Staff Senate and your university. And above all, remember, you matter, you are family, and this is your home. As my daughter has reminded me, this is the 75th year anniversary of The Wizard of Oz. And reflecting back over this story, it made me realize we are much like the characters in this story. The Scarecrow thought he lacked a brain, but he was the most intelligent one in the group. The Tin Man thought he lacked a heart, but he was filled with compassion. The Lion thought he lacked courage, but he was full of courage. So you see, all of them already possessed what they thought they lacked. They just couldn't see it for themselves. They mattered to each other, and by working together, they accomplished their goal. And as for Dorothy, well, through her journey, she learned the value and importance of friendship. She learned to trust in herself. So trust in yourself and value your friendships. Enjoy your journey, and remember, there's no place like home. Thank you.
The Director of ETSU University Advancement, Ms. Karen Sullivan.
I am standing up, I always say that. Actually, this afternoon you were to be addressed by Jeff Anderson, who is unfortunately out of town. So he asked me to step in and say a few words, but he didn't tell me what to say. But I did look at the program, and it said that we were to talk a little bit, and I will be brief, I promise, about the university advancement perspective and what that means. Advancement refers to all of the work that promotes and furthers the mission of an organization. So it matters very much to us at ETSU that we work alongside our students, our faculty, our fellow staff members, working diligently to build the relationships with the people, the corporations, the foundations, all of the people who contribute to support the work of the university. It matters very much that our faculty and staff members support scholarships and programs every month through payroll deductions. It matters that many of you have left bequests to ETSU so that the work of our institution will continue far into the future. What also matters is what we as a community do each and every day. It matters that we as staff members get up every day and come to the university to do our work, whatever that work may be. It matters that each one of us adds our bit to contribute to the greater whole. It matters that we remain committed to building a better university, and by building a better university, a better world, or so we pray and hope. From ETSU University Advancement, we want to thank you for the hard work you do every day, and tangible proof, we hope, is through the appreciation and the fact that the Distinguished Staff Awards have increased. As Christy alluded to earlier, know that in the early 80s, that award was $50 to a staff member, and that has increased to $2,000 to all for each and every category of staff member on this campus. We're very proud of that. Thank you for everything that you do every day to keep our university going. I'm a staff member. Most of us here are staff members, old ones, new ones. We appreciate you. We thank you. And don't forget, go Bucks!
The President-elect of the ETSU Staff Senate, Mr. Josh Whitlock.
You matter. This is seen in the hard work that each of you do at this university each day. The staff members that we honor today exemplify this mission of excellence in their daily efforts. On behalf of the Staff Senate, the Executive Committee, and President Nolan, we would like to recognize and honor those members of the ETSU staff that show, through their actions, how they matter. It is truly individuals like these that set the example for all of us to follow. David Edwards has been serving the ETSU family for 23 years, showing dedication and loyalty to the university. His quiet, unassuming nature is an example for all who know him. As an assistant engineer, he is on call 24/7 and spends many long hours doing maintenance work on the equipment at the WETS FM radio station. He has made numerous trips in various weather conditions to Holston Mountain to keep the transmitters and antenna in working order. He also helps the College of Medicine in keeping their equipment functioning. No job is too big or too small, and he readily meets the challenges laid before him. He is selfless with his time and more than willing to go above and beyond to help friends and fellow staff members. For the past few years, he has been willing to give his time and expertise to help the Staff Senate during the annual picnic to make sure the sound system is up and running. Please join me in recognizing David Edwards for his commitment to helping ETSU. I will be accepting David's award on his behalf. Debbie Starnes is truly an ambassador for the university. Serving the ETSU family for 23 years, her quiet, caring nature has been an inspiration to all who know her and have had the opportunity to work with her. In her tenure at ETSU, she has worked for the departments of payroll, physical plant, physics, and she is now serving as an executive aide for public safety. Debbie has served 2 terms as a senator on the Staff Senate, proudly representing her constituents. She can always be counted on to go the extra mile on any endeavor set before her. On behalf of the Staff Senate, we would like to recognize Debbie Starnes for her outstanding contributions and dedication to our university family. Sherry Bailey goes above and beyond what is required for her job as a coordinator in the Registrar's Office of the College of Medicine. She has been in this position for about 13 years. She works with currently enrolled medical students as well as past students and graduates. She has an amazing sense of humor and gets along with everyone. When students arrive to her office, Sherry immediately does all she can to help them. She speaks to them as a friend, helping them out. She tells them as they leave, "We'll take good care of you," and that's what she does. When graduates call in needing paperwork completed for hospital privileges or a transcript to be sent to get their license to practice medicine, Sherry goes out of her way to find out how things are going with their lives, with spouses, children, etc. This creates a lasting bond, a real connection to their medical school. She makes sure they know that they were and still are important to ETSU. On behalf of the Staff Senate, we would like to recognize Sherry Bailey for her compassionate heart and dedication to our students at the College of Medicine. Joy McNeil is dedicated to the work he does as a mover supervisor for the Department of Facilities Management. His work means so much to everyone, both here on the main campus and all the other buildings in the region that ETSU occupies. Whether it is setting up for events or someone needing the office moved, Joey is there to do it, rain or shine. Joey goes out of his way to accommodate everyone, even when people call up at the last minute to have something moved or an event set up. Joey demonstrates a remarkable level of respect in all his interactions with students, faculty, and staff. He is able to maintain a patient and kind demeanor under all circumstances, which makes him effective in situations that could be politely described as frustrating. Joey greets all these requests with a smile, a happy to do it for you attitude, and he never fails to see that the need is met. Please join me in recognizing Joy McNeil for his untiring and humble service to this university. Teresa Williams has been a valued employee of ETSU since she began working here in 1997. She takes her job seriously and goes above and beyond the call of duty on a daily basis. She is always thinking about what might make processes better. Her forward thinking is applied to all aspects of her work. She gives generously of her time in supporting the efforts of others while maintaining a weighty workload. She has worked tirelessly to ensure that advisors and administrators are informed and aware of current student needs. She has served as the Need Help Coordinator for ETSU. She helps basically any and everyone that clicks that icon or calls her number, handling each request with her trademark care and concern. She is on almost every committee that is involved with improving student services and graduation rates, from orientation to registration, using the portal, transfer students, etc., etc., etc. Teresa is unfailingly dependable. On behalf of the Staff Senate, we would like to recognize Teresa Williams for her outstanding service to our students, faculty, and staff.
Once again, the Director of University Advancement, Ms. Karen Sullivan.
I'm back. The reason I'm back is because one of the really great things that I've gotten to do over the last couple of years is to work with a fabulous staff awards committee. And there is an award that is given every year now to the outstanding staff senator, and this is not an easy thing to get. We're pretty hard on each other. For example, the person who is the current president of Staff Senate is not even allowed, or actually it would be you for this year, and you for next year. They are not eligible. They're not eligible to receive the award because they're supposed to work like dogs, and they do. However, the recipient of the 2013 Outstanding Staff Senator Award is a person upon whom one can always rely. A person of their word. If they say they'll be there to help out, you can count on them being there. If a considered opinion is what is needed, then you can count on them to give your topic careful thought and know that the advice that they offer has been given all due consideration. Even if what you need to do is to just vent, you will find that they will take in what you say and retain only the pertinent details. As a past president, she helped to guide the Senate through difficult times while remaining level-headed and positive. As an active senator, she continues to pitch in where needed and to take on leadership roles. Well respected by her peers and colleagues, it is my pleasure to announce that the outstanding staff senator for 2013 is Lisa Boer. And we love it when they cry.
Oh my goodness gracious. Did we get to say a speech? This next award may come as a bit of a surprise to the next recipient, but it is well deserved. Her intense desire to make things better for staff is why she wanted to serve as your president. So on behalf of the Executive Committee and the Senate, I would like to present this award to Christy Buckles, past president of Staff Senate, for her dedication and commitment to the Senate, to the staff, and to the university. Come on up, Christy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Operating Officer of East Tennessee State University and Vice President for Health Affairs, Dr. Wilcie Bishop.
Thank you. Meet me afterwards, and I'll give you that pay, I promise. And I'm stuck in I may not get out. I may have to just stand here the rest of the evening. I haven't worn high heels in weeks. You talked about quaking in your high heels. Well, I decided to wear them today, and I'm stuck in the... So when you all leave the auditorium and I'm still here, you don't know why. I don't know how I hit the groove. Well, usually I get the opportunity to talk right after that we've announced the members that we've lost through the year, and I'm very emotional about that. Now I'm emotional this year because Christy's down here crying, so I don't know. This has been a very moving convocation today. I think you have had it affirmed over and over that you matter. From the words of Dr. Nolan, from the words of Dr. Collins, from the words of Christy Buckles, from the words of Randy Byington, from the words of Michael Wallace, from the words from the heart from Lisa Belcher, from the words from Karen Sullivan, from the awards given by Josh and Karen and Lisa. You have heard that you matter. And sometimes when we get in our day-to-day work, it's hard to remember that. It's easy to get caught up in the rush and the bustle and the things that have to be done. But think about today as you go about your workaday week. Think about people coming together and saying how important it is what you do for this university, what you do for our students, and what you do for each other. Thank you, David, Debbie, Sherry, Joey, Teresa, Lisa, Christy, for what you do and for being recognized by your peers. There's no greater honor than others to know that you do work for them and together for your organization and your university. Thank you for what you do for ETSU. And if I am going to do the rest of my job, I also need to give you a few announcements. That is, there are 2 tables out front. One has information containing Staff Senate and Friends of Staff Senate. So if you're interested in signing up or getting more information, stop by that table. One is from the Department of Sustainability, because today's event is a zero waste event. So with this help of sustainability and the Eco-Nuts, sounds better, Eco-Nuts, be sure and stop and talk with them. Lisa talked to you about a little chocolate helping her get ready for today's event. You'll find a gift for you as you leave the auditorium, and you'll understand the relationship when you get your gift. And last announcement, there's a reception for you in the lobby. Please stop, meet your colleagues, network, enjoy the afternoon, and go Bucks. Thank you.